You just finished a candy bar. You didn't need it. You weren't even that hungry. But your brain lit up like you'd just found food in a famine. That reaction is older than agriculture. Older than cities. Older than fire itself. And it was never built for a world with vending machines. For 99% of human history, sugar in that concentrated form didn't exist. There were no bags of it. No bowls of it on the counter. There was fruit, ripe for a few weeks a year, and there was honey, guarded by bees who did not want to share it. That's it. That was the entire menu of sweetness available to your ancestors. So why does your brain still react to sugar like it's the most important thing in the room? The answer is far stranger than sugar tastes good. Your ancestors weren't eating for pleasure. They were eating for survival math. Every calorie mattered because calories were never guaranteed. A missed meal wasn't an inconvenience. It could be the difference between making it through winter or not. And in that world, sugar wasn't a treat. It was a signal. A flashing sign that said this food is safe, this food is dense with energy, eat as much as you can, right now, because tomorrow it might be gone. Anthropologist Katharine Milton spent years studying what our closest primate relatives actually eat in the wild. Her research showed something surprising. Wild primates aren't grazing on leaves all day out of preference. They're chasing ripe fruit whenever they can find it, because ripe fruit is rare, seasonal, and worth fighting for. Sugar wasn't everywhere. It was a jackpot. Now picture your ancestors 2 million years ago. No refrigeration. No grocery stores. No guarantee of a next meal. What did they actually eat? Mostly, they scavenged and foraged. Roots. Tubers. Leafy greens, tough and fibrous, nothing like the soft lettuce in your fridge. Nuts and seeds when they were in season. Insects, more often than you'd like to think. And meat, when they were lucky enough to catch it or find a carcass before another predator did. Here's the twist most people miss. Meat wasn't a daily guarantee. It was a jackpot too. Early humans weren't apex predators with spears bringing down mammoths every week. For a huge stretch of prehistory, they were scavengers, picking through what lions and hyenas left behind. Bone marrow. Scraps. Whatever calories they could pull out of a carcass before it rotted or someone bigger showed up. Then something changed everything. Fire. Primatologist Wrangham built an entire body of research around one idea. Cooking didn't just make food taste better. It made humans possible. Raw food takes enormous energy to digest. Your gut has to work overtime to break down tough plant fibers and raw meat. But cooked food is already partially broken down before it even reaches your stomach. Wrangham's research suggests that once humans started cooking, they suddenly had access to far more usable energy from the same amount of food. That extra energy didn't just feed muscles. It fed something else. A brain that was about to triple in size. Think about that for a second. The device you're using to read this sentence exists partly because your ancestors figured out how to make food easier to digest. But cooking didn't just change biology. It changed the entire day. Before fire, eating was constant, opportunistic, whatever you could find whenever you found it. After fire, eating became a shared event. People gathered around it. They waited for food to cook. They talked. Anthropologists believe this shift may be one of the earliest roots of human social bonding around meals, something you still do every single day without thinking about where it came from. So where does honey fit into all this? Researcher Alyssa Crittenden has spent years studying the Hadza, a community in Tanzania whose foraging lifestyle offers one of the closest living windows we have into how ancient humans might have eaten. Her work found that honey isn't a minor snack for the Hadza. It's one of the most prized, most calorie-dense foods available to them, and they will climb, smoke out hives, and risk stings to get it. Sound familiar? That's the same brain response you get walking past a bakery. The instinct never left. Only the packaging changed. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a piece of honeycomb your ancestor risked bee stings for, and a candy bar from a gas station shelf. Both trigger the exact same reward pathway. Dopamine floods in. Your brain says, more of this, please. But one of those foods took real effort and real risk to obtain, capping how much of it you could realistically eat in a lifetime. The other is sitting in a bowl on your desk, unlimited, all day, every day. That mismatch is the real story. For millions of years, the rarity of sugar was the safety mechanism. You couldn't overeat honey because bees fought back. You couldn't overeat ripe fruit because it was only available a few weeks a year. Scarcity did the regulating for you. Your ancestors never needed willpower around sugar, because the environment already limited it. Then, in a genuine blink of evolutionary time, that limit vanished. Sugar became cheap, refined, and available every hour of every day. But the brain circuitry didn't get the memo. It's still running 2 million-year-old software on hardware surrounded by a completely different world. This is why just eat less sugar can feel so much harder than it sounds. You're not fighting a lack of discipline. You're fighting a survival instinct that used to keep your ancestors alive, now aimed at a world it was never designed for. There's something almost humbling in that. The same drive that made a starving forager climb a tree to reach a beehive is the same drive that makes you reach for a second cookie without really deciding to. It's not weakness. It's inheritance. So what did ancient humans actually eat? Not a clean, simple paleo plate you can buy in a magazine. Their diet shifted constantly, by season, by region, by sheer luck. Fibrous plants most days. Occasional bursts of fat and protein from meat. Rare, treasured moments of concentrated sweetness from fruit or honey, moments that meant something because they were earned and limited. You don't live in that world anymore. But part of your brain still thinks you do. Next time you reach for something sweet without even being hungry, you're not failing at self-control. You're listening to a very old voice, one that spent millions of years keeping your ancestors alive by chasing rare, precious calories wherever it could find them. The world changed. The voice didn't. You just finished a candy bar. You didn't need it. But somewhere underneath the wrapper and the packaging and the convenience, your brain still thinks it just found the rarest, most precious thing in the world.